I'm your host, Muna, and we're gonna just hit a little bit about the school, the accusations that's coming out, your trips and your travels, and the things that you want to do in the future. So, are you ready for Africa tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready for Africa. Very much looking forward to it. It'll be my second group trip to the continent. We went last year to Morocco and Ghana. Took about 40 brothers and sisters with us. Most of them, it was their first time being back home. Enjoyed it so much, I decided to do it again. And so this year it's going to be Egypt and Ghana. Looking forward to that. I've never been to Egypt, but I'm a big fan of the antiquities of Kemet. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's just going to be a very, very powerful time. While I'm there, I'm going to be investigating different things. Most primarily would be the potential of erecting the Fred Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy there. But looking forward to it. I'm very exhausted. A lot has been going on the past couple of months. So I just need a break. So I can't wait to get on that airplane tomorrow and just sleep. It's an evening flight, so I'll be able to rest up really, really well. But looking forward to getting back to Africa, getting back to Ghana, and reconnecting to that ancestral energy.
Okay. Why do you feel like these trips are so important?
Well, number one, I look at Africa as the spiritual battery for all African people. That's home. And just like with any battery, you can never really charge until you are connected to a platform that was designed specifically to recharge your energy. That's what Africa is for us. We spend so much time away from Africa dissipating our energy. I think it's important that we go back at least annually to recharge that spiritual battery, that cultural battery, that intellectual battery. I think that going to Africa changes people's lives. I know it changed mine. The first time I went, 2005. Of course, I've been back almost 10 times since. Been about 10 different countries now. And it just does a whole lot for me to put me back into perspective, reconnect me to my roots. I think for me, it's a matter of life and death. I don't think I can stay away from Africa for more than 2 or 3 years at a time. It's that essential to who I am.
Wow, that's deep. What is the Pan-African Research and Repatriation Task Force?
The Pan-African Research and Repatriation Task Force is a part of Team Pan-African. Now, Team Pan-African is the nickname for an organization I started back on September the 21st, 2005. The International Movement for the Independence and Protection of African People. That's an organization I started to bring Africans together all around the world and to create a political, economic, Pan-African platform upon which we can rise ourselves up from. So it's based on the philosophies of not only the greatest Pan-Africanists of all time, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, but all the fathers and mothers of Pan-Africanism. IMIPAP, Team Pan-African, is my way of completing the task of creating that revolutionary Pan-African international solidarity movement for our people. So with the task force, we're going to be researching which countries in Africa would be most suitable for our return. For those of us who want to come back to Africa, let's put all the countries in order in terms of viability for us being able to get there and get started. Of course, all countries in Africa are prime target for repatriation. Some are more conducive to Africans coming home. Ghana, obviously, with its Pan-African heritage. Liberia, obviously, because of its Pan-African heritage. Kenya, because of its development. South Africa, because of its development. So there's some countries that kind of stand out more than others. And because most of us in America are monolingual, we only speak one language. Naturally, it would be easier to repatriate to a country that unfortunately was colonized by the British because they also speak English. So I would have an easier time adjusting to Liberia than I would Senegal. Even though I love Senegal, I don't speak French or Wolof. So these are the type of things we need to look at. The stability of the government, because we would hate to repatriate to a country only for it to be thrown into chaos because of a coup. You see, so we want to look at stability, safety, and of course, economic opportunity. Where can we go and make the biggest impact for our people in Africa and around the world? Because in going to Africa, we're not just going to help Africa, we're going to help all African people. It's a Pan-African perspective. So would it be better to get into education in Nigeria? Maybe in Liberia, it might be better to get into farming. Maybe in Kenya, it might be better to get into government. So we got to do a study on that. So that's the investigation part, the research part, and then the repatriation is actually beginning to put together a plan, a protocol of taking brothers and sisters who are ready to go home from America back to Africa with some supports, because you just can't pack up and go. You got to have a plan when you get there, and we want to be a benefit to African society, not a detriment. So that's something that I'm really going to be moving on over the next couple months.
So do you believe that the people who go back are going to be a part of the program, or are you just bringing them back and then they're doing their own thing?
It will be both.
Okay.
Because we want to give them the independence to utilize whatever goals and dreams and talents that they have. So we don't want to dictate. We don't want it to be cultish, so to speak. But at the same time, they will be obligated to Team Pan-African, and they will be obligated to give back to the African country where they live. We want to make sure we don't become parasitic to Africa. A lot of Western-born, Americanized Africans go back home and we become parasitic, meaning we go and we extract. We take, just like the European does. So I go to Africa, I become a millionaire. But what have you done for Africa? You're just a white man in a black face. You've done nothing different. The people there, how many are you hiring? What are you paying them? How are you investing in the community? So you mean to tell me you just went over there to extract and exploit Africa? We don't want that. And so our legal team will make sure that anyone who repatriates to Africa under the banner of Team Pan-African is going to be a support for Liberia, a support for Ghana, not an exploiter. Okay, Africa doesn't need to be recolonized by Americanized Negroes. You understand? We're not going to recolonize Africa. We're going to, help Africa as we help ourselves.
Okay. Well, in there you mentioned a cult. Some people call your followers a cult.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
The reason those who support my work have been labeled a cult is because they are very, very courageous in their defense of DrUmarJohnson. And when you look at any of our great organizers, if you look at the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, if you look at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if you look at Dr. Malachi Z. York, if you look at Huey P. Newton, all the founders of the Rastafari, all of these leaders, these great African men, organizers, had people around them whose job was to protect the vision. You have to have that. It's no way DrUmarJohnson can build and then also be responsible for defending and protecting the movement as I build it. I'm actually honored. I'm actually grateful and thankful that I have so many African people around the world, many of whom I've never met and don't know personally, who are willing to speak up for me and protect me. So when people call my followers, my supporters, because I don't like to use the term followers, they support my work because we're all on the same level and the same vision. I'm blessed to have that, because it could very well be the opposite, where I don't have people who support me. And I think those detractors, those jealous people, those envious people who are out there in the community who are praying for my downfall, they are upset that so many people support DrUmarJohnson and his vision so much that they are willing, to risk their own safety, if you would, to protect what I'm trying to do, because it's not about me. They're not protecting Umar Johnson. I'm just the vessel.